takes a dog that not only can do what we do for training, but a dog that hunts.
The old days of being really good at one side or the other and kind of waffling through the side that you're not good at are done.
You've got a lot of work to go in to get there. And if you're somebody that's going to get your feelings hurt easily, if it doesn't go well, this probably isn't a great game for you.
You know, these dogs have got to hunt to have that experience to be able to handle some of the situations that we get put in.
This is not a young dog game. And if you're going to be good at SRS, you better be good at something else. You better be really good at field trials. You better be really good at hunt tests.
But if you absolutely love training your dog and working with your dog and trying to get better as a team, and you're someone that likes to perform at a high level, then this is a perfect game for you.
They might not be great field trial dogs. Now, almost every one of them are great hunt test dogs. But all around, from A to Z, these guys are the best.
Welcome to the 2022 Super Retriever Series Crown Championship presented by Eukanuba. Hello everyone, I'm your host David Hamilton, joined alongside my co-hosts all week, our analysts J. Paul Jackson and Rody Best. And guys, we're about to crown a champion here in the Open Division.
Yes, sir, and I tell you what, we have seen some great dog work here. We had 78 teams come in, unbelievable stuff over the last 5 days. And Rody, how about our host venue here, Shreveport, Boozer City, Louisiana? It's been truly wonderful.
The grounds here have been phenomenal. The hospitality, the food, man, the food. It has been wonderful.
The food truly has, but I've got to sidetrack. Let's talk about today. We're in our final series, our final 3 dogs, and we are about to crown a champion in the Super Retriever Series.
That's right, J. Paul. 3 of our finalists have already run, with 3 still remaining. Coming into this 5th and final series, Mason and Steven Durrance were in the lead with 185 faults, followed by Gus and Leo Joseph, and then Steven Durrance and Abby. So, J. Paul, give us a rundown of this test.
Well, we've got a great series here in the 5th. These judges have set up a field trial, hunt test, hunt savvy combination. It all starts with a big long bird at 257 yards, right to left. It's a flasher. Another white coat mark, left to right, 157. It's a mallard. Know your dog off both those. Run a blind. Got to cross those pine bells or it's a 50-point penalty, 252 yards in the woods. Walk over to the Thor boat, grab shells out of the Apex bucket, load, call. Mark 3, right to left, a little over 100 yards. Mark 4 comes right back at you. Left to right, only 60 yards. And finally, the Go Bird, again, a little bit over 100 yards, thrown left to right. Pick them up in any order, and there you go.
Our judges are looking for marking, memory, control, and line manners, and this test has enough to test all of that. What they're also going to look for closely is a poor initial line, whistle refusals, and a handle to the area, which can cost a lot of points.
Up first of the line among our 3 teams that we'll see in this episode is Steven Durrance and Abby. They're from Sylvania, Georgia. Abby's 8 years old and owned by Randy Murdahl, and they come in with combined faults of 225 on the first 4 series.
This is Abby. This is her 3rd trip to the crown in the last 3 years, and her 3rd trip to the finals in the last 3 years. So she is the picture of consistency. Abby's awesome. She's kind of like the mother hen that was also a really, really good athlete in her day. She's had 2 litters of puppies in my house. She, just a cool house dog, easy going, on and off switch that you always want to have in an animal. Her owner loves to entertain and loves to hunt, and he'll sit her in the middle of the field and go visiting everybody, and she sits right there and marks all the birds falling. It's just, she's a really cool all-around dog. Abby loves long marks. She has that it factor that you can't put in a dog, that she comes back and wants to go long. So it'll be interesting. Whatever we see, I'm usually comfortable with her because she likes to do it all.
While Steven was talking there, we saw them complete the blind, and they had 57 faults on that, so now they'll move on to the 5 different marks.
And I think after watching Luke run his blind and do such a good job, I think Steven knows he's behind the 8 ball, needs to make up some ground on these marks.
I think Abby's going to do really well on the 3 short marks. You know, running long is her forte, but she will clean these up pretty easily, I think. The challenge is going to be not getting her to go back to those longer marks, but will she have enough memory to get to the area? I don't think depth's going to be an issue.
J. Paul, you were right. She did clean up those first 2 birds, only getting 2 faults on both the go bird and the second mark.
I really like the way she gets out to an area like this. She knows she's in the area. She knows she's made the area. And she's just hunting, trying to find that little booger and dig it out. Look at that. Look, look, look. There it is. Got it.
And that's what I'm talking about, Rhodey. I think that getting the depth is going to be there for her. It's the accuracy. You know, is she going to be on line or is she going to be off right or left? Because she puts on very tight, controlled hunts. Here it looks like.
Interesting little fade to the right there, and she's hunted a little short of the mark, not quite made the area yet.
But she's almost deep enough as she's hunting here, and that's what I was talking about. You know, going long isn't an issue for her. It's just the accuracy. She hasn't had to handle or anything, and she's definitely got the depth. She just needs to make a left turn here to get to that bird.
She looked like she's doing some trigonometry there. She kind of hunted an angled in hunt, looked around for it, it's not here, then hunted a square hunt, and then eventually figured it out.
So after getting 11 faults on that third mark, on that first field trial mark, 19 faults, and now we're on the second of the field trial marks.
And this is her forte. I mean, I would think she would do a pretty good job on this mark.
Again, she's drifting right, and I think we're going to see a quick handle here. Stephen's going to let her get the depth.
Yeah, I think this is a smart handle. We've seen a lot of handlers let their dogs get too far right and had a hard time recovering and racked up a lot of points trying to get them over there. I think Stephen's making the smart move here, keeping her on the left side of the station and putting her on this bird. It doesn't seem like she's located the bird boy there hiding behind that tree. We've seen her make good hunts off bird boys in the previous marks. Not doing it here though.
A 42 here on that second field trial mark to give them a series total of 133 and a total here of 358. Now coming up next, we'll see Leo, Joseph, and Gus come to the line. The Super Retriever Series Crown Championship is presented by Eukanuba. Sporting dogs give us everything we ask and then some. Their nutrition should do the same. By the Shreveport-Bossier Sports Commission, visit Shreveport-Bossier, and by Louisiana Tourism. Feed your soul. Welcome back to the Super Retriever Series Crown Championship presented by Eukanuba. We're in Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana, and we'll be back here this fall as well, September 29th through October 1st for the Dot Crown Championship, and then right into the Retriever Trials October 2nd through the 8th. We'll even be back in 2024 as well. Check out Shreveport-Bossier Sports Commission for more information. 2 more dogs to run. Indy and Luke Core holding the lead, but stepping to the line right now is Leo Joseph III with dog Gus.
That's right. Gus's name is Louisiana's Rock of Ages, and Leo has done a magnificent job with this dog. I had a look at him a couple of years ago. Leo took him and has made an impressive dog out of him.
He really has. He's been very, very consistent also. He's coming in here in second place among the open dogs. Blind started terrific, and then what really impresses me is that dog's running with purpose. Not only did he clear the hay bales right in the middle, but he did it in a hurry.
Yeah, it was almost like that dog was looking at that like a target and just jumped right over him. Definitely the best approach to those hay bales we've seen.
Picking up the blind right here and had 18 faults on the blind as you see Leo grab the shells right there and get ready for the marks now.
Boy, you can just tell as we get to the top 3 dogs in this final series, they just seem to get better and better, don't they?
They really do, man. And Leo, I've watched him over the last few years grow. I mean, you know, he is not an old timer by any means by SRS standards, but he's really performed well. Each year he seems to be getting better and better, and right now he has a shot at his first Super Retriever Series Crown Championship.
And let's hear from Leo as he tells us a little bit more about Gus.
This is Gus. He was Augustus before he came to us. But I've got the slightest country draw, and it takes a while for me to get Augustus out at the line, so we had to shorten it up to Gus. He came from Laura Parrott. He's qualified all age. He's got some AM and open placements. He's been really successful, and we're proud to be here in the finals today.
Gus making quick work of these marks here. The first mark with only 1 fault, on the second mark with 3 faults, and the third mark with only 3 faults.
Boy, Leo is putting the pressure. He's done, definitely done a decent job as Luke has, and he's definitely putting the pressure on Steven, who still has to run a dog. So kudos to Leo for coming up and really not bending at all, not backing up, and putting the pressure on those he needs to.
And only 4 faults there on that field trial mark, so with 1 left to go, what a remarkable run here so far.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting here that Leo came into this only trailing by 24 faults. So he has definitely made up some ground to this point.
Had to handle on this mark, but he's made it very clean, very smooth, not having any resistance from Gus. Just needs to get left of that tree to finish this little mark up and come home with a really good score.
I think he's only a whistle or 2 away here. That may do it.
And a 41 on that final mark for a final score of 70 here in Series 5. Our best score on this final test, putting them in first. Will it hold up? We'll find out after the break. But up next, the Eukanuba Team of the Year. This year's Eukanuba Team of the Year winners in the Open Division are Steven Durrance and Onyx. Steven and Onyx had 6 placements this year with 2 first-place finishes. Now, the Eukanuba Team of the Year acknowledges the most consistent Team of the Year by their placements and by the points accrued. Points are defined by the number of entries at each event. Onyx has quite the pedigree as the son of Georgia, the 2019 Crown champion, and Mason, one of the 2022 Crown competitors. He also is a descendant of both Dude and Bobo, who were previous SRS champions. Steven says, Onyx shows me a glimpse into his ancestors every time I run him. He's a great dog in his own right, and although I have high hopes for his future, how can you ask for more from a dog that already gives you so much? What a great year for Steven and Onyx, our 2022 Eukanuba Team of the Year. We're back at the Louisiana Boardwalk next to the Margaritaville Resort and Casino, and today we happen to have the Super V. Let's take a quick look at what happened in the pro competition. 3 eligible dogs. Ending up in 3rd place with a 6'6" jump is Bear with handler Kristen Lau from McConnell, Illinois. Then there was Archer, handler Carly Dearman from Lindale, Texas. They came in 2nd with a 6 feet 10-inch jump. Look at that right there. And our winner in 1st place, Jameson and Katie Dunn. They are no stranger to being crown champions here in 2022. Jameson also was crowned the crown champion in the Raider Run and the Super Fly, adding the hat trick by winning in Super V with a jump of 7 feet. Congratulations to all 3 of them. Now let's take a look at our Super V Pro Elite group. We had a head-to-head competition between Titan and Tex. Tex with handler Veronica Jones from Bristol, Tennessee, worked their way up to 7'4". Seeing them grabbing that right there. J. Paul, looked like they cleared it on that first jump.
Yep, they cleared it on the first jump, and her opponent, our 4-time SRS Crown champion Titan and Gina from Stacy, Minnesota, they'll come in at 7 feet 6 inches. Now, he misses the grab, Titan does here on his first opportunity, but you get 2 shots at it, and he makes the grab at 7'6" second time around.
So that means it's now Tex's turn to go at 7'6". Tex misses both tries, meaning that Titan's gonna get the win. But Titan, already having the win at 7'6", says, let's just see if I can get 7 feet 8. So Gina setting him up, goes up there, misses on the first try again, already has clinched the crown at this point, but decides, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can get 7 feet 8 inches on the second try here. As you see, Titan goes up, grabs it, absolutely making it look easy, gets the grab at 7 feet 8 inches, and takes home another crown championship in the Pro Elite division. Now, if you want to get involved in dock jumping, check out our event schedule on our Facebook page where we list all of our upcoming events around the country, so find one in an area near you in the coming year, because it's always fun here at the dock. Up next in retriever trials, our final dog will come to the line, Mason, with handler Steven Durrance. The Super Retriever Series Crown Championship is presented by Eukanuba. Sporting dogs give us everything we ask and then some. Their nutrition should do the same. By Thor Boats and Lucky Duck Kennels. And by Splash Super Pools. Welcome back to the Super Retriever Series Crown Championship presented by Eukanuba. It's our last dog to run at the WK Palmetto Center here in Shreveport, Bossier City. And the dog to the line is Mason with handler Stephen Durrance.
Yes, Mason is our oldest dog in the field at 11 years old. Registered name Oak Point's Traveling Man, call name Mason.
And as we saw there on the leaderboard, Gus and Leo are in the lead, but Stephen will have to stay under 94 faults if they want to be this year's crown champion.
Mason, of course, is owned by Elaine Mitchell, no stranger to the Super Retriever Series. She runs Mason from time to time herself at competition. I tell you, Rhodey, that was a really, really nice initial line. What do you think so far?
Yeah, I mean, we saw Steven struggle with Cooper to get over this hay bale, and no struggle there, definitely. And it's interesting there, you notice his gait there. Definitely an 11-year-old dog. Just judging by how his stride is and his gait, you can see the age has taken its toll on him.
I tell you, he may be getting older, but one of the things I love about running an older dog, you know, the speed a little bit slower, and you cannot replace or buy experience. And he certainly got that.
Experience shows right there, running that blind with only 22 faults, as we see Steven setting up now for the marks.
22 is a good score. Definitely up there is one of our best so far, so Steven's probably pretty comfortable and relaxed at this point.
Here you can see the sagacity in Mason. He's been to the line so many times, he knows what to look for. He's picking those birds out.
Let's hear from Steven now a little bit more about Mason.
This is Mason Mitchell, Oak Point's Traveling Man, and he's been by my side for the majority of his life. We started this whole thing at 6 months old, and he's qualified for a bunch of crowns. He's had 2 fourth place finishes. He had 4th last year, as a matter of fact. He qualified with me. He also qualified with his owner. Miss Elaine won and finished out his amateur title this year. Super consistent. Got a little indication of wisdom going on. And I mean, he's a son of Bobo, who was my very first SRS winner ever. Mason's happy doing whatever. His favorite thing to do is roll in the grass. He'll barrel roll. He actually lives in the house with me. He's my younger son Levi's cartoon watching buddy. They love each other dearly. He's got 14 grand passes now, so he's one short of the record that dude set, and he's just, like I said, he's a picture of consistency. He's special to me.
On those 3 marks there, 4 faults on Mark 1, 3 faults on Mark 2, and 9 faults on Mark 3.
Yeah, Mason picked up the 3 marks pretty clean. We did see on that 1 mark he handled in the area, and they did not get him for the 20-point penalty on that, so he only came away with 9 points out of that one. Did a pretty good job on that field trial mark there.
I'll tell you, that was a really, really smart handle in the area because, I mean, he's still got about 50 points to give up here on this last bird. So he comes in with a really comfortable cushion. Now it's a matter of just surviving. You know, getting in there, picking it up as quickly and cleanly as possible.
Yeah, J. Paul, you're right. Gus really put the pressure on Mason here, but Mason seems to be handling this pressure here in the 5th and final series.
Yeah, he did something really weird there, and I'm not quite sure what he was doing. He had him pointed pretty far left, kind of lined him up and then pulled him off that and pulled him back to this last mark. I'm not really sure. J. Paul, you have any idea what he might have been trying there?
You know, he's seen so many dogs fall off to the right. I think he was just trying to make sure that he was lined up correctly. Now, to me, this is a little bit of a shocker. He's got 50 points to give up. I would have expected him to get on that whistle because Mason, it appears to me, is definitely deep with this bird.
Yeah, he let him carry really far, and that's the first one we've actually seen. Everybody else has played it a lot more conservative and handled sooner. Perhaps he was going for gold and thought maybe Mason might work it out. I don't know, but let's see if it hurts him. Pretty big overcast there. That's a tough cast to get. Oh, and he gave it.
Man, what a cast. Look at that. And with 46 faults, that means he's won the whole thing.
And there you have it. Mason and Steven Durrance are this year's crown champions with a 5 series total of 272, only 7 better than our second place finisher Gus and Leo Joseph. And rounding out the top 3 is Indy and Luke Core. Let's hear from this year's crown champions.
I would never bet against Mason. I was very, very proud of every dog that I brought here. There was not one dog that didn't have a chance. This is a team sport. It's not just you and the dog, it's you and the dogs. So every dog that ran gave the other dogs that had to run a chance to excel. So I would take nothing away from any of them because they all could have done it.
And congrats again to our 2022 Super Retriever Series crown champions, Mason and Steven Durrance. Congrats also to all the dogs that qualified and those that we saw here running in the finals. And guys, it has been an absolute pleasure to sit alongside you all week as we watch these amazing dogs compete. We'd like to thank the Shreveport Bossier Sports Commission, the WK Palmetto Event Center, of course our 3 judges, Sean Sims, Jerry Day, and Randy Price, and also thank you for watching. We'll see you here next year on the 2023 Super Retriever Series Crown Championship, presented by Eukanuba.